Okay, welcome. So today we're going to be looking at how we generate simulated data into the system. And this is great when you're trying to put together prototypes to sell projects to management and even just getting front ends ready before you've got your live data available. So simulated data works great for that as well. So I'm in the model designer right now, and I've got a solar panel here, and it's got a couple of properties on it, productivity in watts, and there's also a calculation that's adding productivity in watts and putting it into the sum property. And what I want to do is I want to have simulated data for these two values. So I'm going to do that by going to my data mapping tab, and simulated data works both for Status Device Cloud with your data connector service that's out on the web, and it works perfectly for Status Enterprise with your data connector service running local. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to connect to our data connector service, add a password if we have one, and we're going to create a new configuration. And we're going to call this random data as our file, as our configuration. And we select from the different types of data sources, you're going to select data simulator. And we select connect, and then we do our mapping. So on the right side is your simulated data. You've got random doubles are in here. There's static values that you can read and write to. There's blink if you want to have various switches and things turning on or off, or items flashing. If you want to test bad quality, this one will generate some bad quality data, and you can see the effects of your front end and your controls when you have a bad quality data come in from your devices. Ramp, this will slowly go up and then come back down again. There's arrays and strings and various different things in here. Most of the time you're going to use random double. So I'm going to go to my assets, and I'm going to navigate down to equipment, and I'm going to find that solar panel. So here's the solar panel, and I'll bring over the model browser right now just to see that we don't have anything updating for those properties. Right now all of those properties are 0, and we're going to create a couple of mappings. So productivity, we're going to map, pick a random value and do right click, add mapping. So now as this random value changes in the data simulator, it'll update this property here in the model. And I'm going to select watts, and I'm going to do the same thing, select add mapping, and I'm going to close. Now here's a common mistake. A lot of people will now go and say, okay, where's my data? Well, you haven't saved your configuration file yet. So that configuration file needs to be saved before it's going to take effect. So we're going to save that configuration file, and then we'll come back to the model browser, and we can see that now we're getting our random data is coming into productivity in watts, and our sum property is executing. So now I can go off, create my mimics. Okay, so here we are now. We're going to launch the mimic designer. And we've got simulated data now coming into that solar panel, and we want to create a quick mimic for taking a look at that information. So we're going to create a new mimic named test, and we'll go to the toolbox and we'll drag out a couple of gauges. Here's a radial gauge and a racing gauge, and we'll grab something else here, maybe an LED display. And then we go to our model, and we're going to locate that asset that we attach the data mappings to for simulated data. So we'll go to our solar panel collection to panel 1, and we're going to map this graphic to productivity by double clicking. We're going to map this one to the watts property, and we'll map this one to the sum property. So now those three graphics are mapped to those three properties of solar panel 1. Solar panel 1 is now having simulated data flowing into the model. So we should be able to save this screen now and then just do a build and run and see that we've now got a nice mimic with simulated information coming in from our data simulator. Thank you.